I'd like to welcome in studio from the band, Nick's other band, Chuck Will. Chuck, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you making the trek over here from East Andover and coming to Newport, which is now going to be 2 days in a row because you'll be here tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Old Courthouse Restaurant.
Yeah, it's exciting. So this is Nick's other band. You guys have been around for, 25 years?
Exactly. We started in the spring of 2000, and we're going to wrap it up this year with our final tour.
And so tomorrow night at the Old Courthouse is the last appearance in Newport.
It's true.
This is it.
Right. And while the restaurant's sold out, I'm told that if you call ahead, they'll reserve patio space. So bring your own chair, and we'll be starting at 6:30.
Is it? So it's sold out now?
Yeah, the dinner.
Super.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I talked to Jane Saturday, and last I knew he had 15 or 20 tickets left. So that's awesome. That's super. So talk about the band itself.
Yeah.
You guys have been around for 25 years. This is your last tour.
Yeah.
And you've been well known in the area.
Yeah, it's actually it's pretty big band. We were 7 men, 7 musicians, and it started off more with a kind of R&B groove, and we had a Frenchman playing a blues harmonica, and he went back to France about 13 to 14 years ago, and we met this kid at Pat's Peak where we were playing in the wintertime. And Reed Cullen was a 15-year-old, and his parents supported him joining the band on fiddle. But we became more of a southern rock and country rock band, and it's been a nice evolution for us.
Mm-hmm. So I got to ask, who's Nick?
Yeah. So when we first pulled this together, Nick Eaton was a friend of many of us in the Andover area, and he was a drummer, and he was playing in a real fine band called Mock Turtle, M-A-C-H, Mock Turtle. And they referred to his new band as Nick's other band, and so we said, heck, let's just go with this. And so that's Nick Eaton, a great man. He retired 3 years ago. And
so there actually was a Nick in the band,
and Nick is alive and well.
Okay.
I see him frequently. Yep.
That's funny because I was on your website earlier and I was checking out the bandmates. There's not even a Nick here.
Yeah, it's kind of a joke.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Now, so Chuck, you do keyboard.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, I play a stage board that has different voices. It's mostly piano, but I play a Hammond B3 sound. Recently, we've integrated a horns sound, and we do some Jimmy Buffett and some other tunes that I use steel drums, so Caribbean steel drums.
Nice.
But it's a nice board, and I have a lot of fun. We all have a lot of fun in this band. One of the things you've got to know is that we became a little bit more of a show band over the years, and our leader, Keith Barrett, is just a wonderful man, and the guys in the band love Keith, and the people who come to our shows end up loving Keith because he sort of draws you into his world, and his world is very positive and very funny and very smart, and so come prepared to have a good time. I mentioned the Pat's Peak period back 15, 20 years ago, and we gained a kind of following when we played there. And what's happened this year is we announced that we were going to finish up. That was back in May we announced. And our following became literally a following, so that at our public gigs now at bandstands, we're seeing about 100 to 150 familiar faces who are following us around. Yeah. And so there's it's a wonderful feeling. We're going out on top, playing really well, never played better. And it just feels right. So
what was the precipice for the retirement?
It's a couple of things. The hard thing to say is that there are 3 guys who are in their late 20s, and they're not getting older, but the rest of us are getting older. The easy thing to point out, however, is that one of those 20-somethings is Keith's son, Max Barrett, on drums. And Max lives in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh.
So he's here for the summer, one last summer, his third with us. And he's just great. The chemistry is just great. And we know that he's not really replaceable. And he's going to Nashville.
Okay.
So I mean I think that each of us will continue with some music, and some of it will be with Keith Barrett because he's just like a magnet. He's a country picker, and he'll always want to play some country music. And I think the band will continue to make music in different forms, but it's not going to be playing 38 gigs a year like this, which is which is a lot of work.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a commitment too. Like you guys are out, not just any band like yourself that does all the stuff. There goes your summer. You're out Friday night, you're out Saturday night, you're doing whatever. You might have a Sunday to yourself, which means you get to mow the lawn, and right?
It's true. Of course, it's. I mentioned that some of us are getting older. For me, I got to confess, it's the 1 and 2 in the morning. Getting home at that point is tough. So, and those 38 gigs are crammed mostly in July and August. Some through September, but it's intense, and we love it. It's great fun, and it's a lot of work.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
You got to lug all your stuff in, lug your gear out.
And we don't have roadies.
Yeah, exactly. You are the roadie, right?
Right.
So you guys have morphed from like a R&B band to more southern rock, and country flair, and things. Are there any originals, or is it all covers, or a mixture of both?
No, it's all. We're a strictly cover band. We just added. I was just thinking when you were asking that. We just picked up our first instrumental tune in the Allman Brothers' Jessica.
Oh yeah.
Which a lot of bands don't try that. It just is an example of how talented Keith is to be able to pull this off. But we're playing plenty of Delbert McClinton, and always have. But now Charlie Daniels with this fiddle player, he's a phenom. So we're doing Devil Went Down to Georgia, and South's going to do it again, that kind of thing. If you're going to play in Texas, got to have a fiddler in the band. And we're still playing the Jackson Browne and Doobie Brothers and that feel-good stuff. But definitely there's a country influence. And for me, as a piano player, it's kind of new, and I've grown to love it. But it was all new for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song to play? Like, what's the one that you're like, all right?
I'd say that Devil Went Down to Georgia, in terms of, what's new for me. We've played that for quite a long time. But that's a tune that just the crowd is waiting for it. They know we're going to play it, and Keith will tee it up at just the right moment, usually at the end, and that's got to be a lot of fun.
So when you guys are doing a show, do you have a set list that's this is exactly what you're doing, or is it kind of morphable and it moves over time?
That's a great question. It used to be, first half of our existence, Keith would just say, "Oh, let's do this now." But then the set list, we have a set list, and it's published a couple of days before each gig. So I've got 3 of them on my desk at home right now. And it really helps a great deal to know what's coming. However, within that set list, I keep sound like I just want to vote for Keith Barrett, but I'm just such a fan of this guy, and he's very wise about what we need to do, and he'll make some changes.
Okay.
I remember being at a wedding where we're playing a wedding, and things were getting a little down, even though we were rocking it. People weren't dancing, and he said, "Look, let's do Into the Mystic," and I was like, "What?" But he wanted to sit everyone down, and then you come in with old-time rock and roll, and everyone hops up again. Sure. So that was just an example of he's reading the crowd and making some cool decisions.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a smart move, though.
He's a smart man.
Yeah. Now, Nick's other band, this is the final tour.
Yeah.
25 years ago. What started this? How did you guys even begin?
Several of us were involved as either administrators or in the classroom at Proctor Academy, and knew that, we had some talent around. And Keith went from being the music director about that time, around 2000, to being to move into the fundraising business, and thought that having a band would be kind of cool. And we started and played at a parent spring parent weekend under a tent, and we sort of mimicked the Blues Brothers. We did Sweet Home Chicago.
All right.
Feeling All Right, that kind of thing.
Sure.
And of course, we had that guy playing blues harmonica, and it took off. Some Proctor parents began to hire us because we had a day student population, so people in New London. And the next thing you know, when we finally began to play at Pat's Peak, we began doing weddings, and it just has always grown. And it's grown in a very cool way, and it's hard to stop. I know some fans are chanting one more year, but this is the right thing to do.
How do you feel about that?
I do. I think it's the right thing to do. I look forward to knowing I can go to bed on time and not staying up all night. I'll miss it, but because I'll miss these guys. These are the best friends I've ever had, the men on this band. And as I said, 3 of them are in their 20s. We just get along it's just a lot of love. And so I'm going to miss that. And yet I just feel like it's just the right thing. And we'll always have it.
Now, you guys, it will be at the Old Courthouse tomorrow night, which Jane had told me that this is a big deal. Like when she was looking through the schedule, they have some things that are annual. They had the Bastille night and Cajun night and stuff. But she's like, wicked excited about getting you guys. So there's a guest list at this point. I mean, there's a waiting list
for patio space.
So call the Courthouse 863-8360.
Oh, you're good.
You like that? I had to pull it, and I went through my list in my head. I'm like, there it is. So they might or might not be able to get more people there. But either way, it sounds like it's going to be a great time. But this isn't the last time in the area that you guys will be performing.
No, that's true. We're going to be at Plymouth Bandstand on the 13th of August. Starts at 6:30. On the 14th at Kentucky, that's the Llewellyn Bandstand, and that starts at 8. And then Eagles...
8 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Oh, so late.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm in bed at 8:30.
And then Concord's Eagle Square will be a big deal. That's going to be on the 20th, and we start at 6 p.m., and that should be a real great evening right there. And there'll be more. If you go to the website, nicksotherband.com, there's no apostrophe in Nick's, just nicksotherband.com. You'll find the event list right away, the calendar, and you can see us. We'll even be playing into a few gigs into October. Then we're going to have a big bash for our loyal fans and a final hurrah. Yet to be planned, really. But,
okay.
Yep.
Now I know that you got at least one show in Sunapee. You guys be in the harbor.
Yeah, we're going to be back. We've played Sunapee twice so far, but I think so. We played down at the waterfront. And then we played more recently at the Quack Shack.
Oh, nice.
And I think that the final one is going to be Chowderfest. I think that's pretty much etched in granite. We're not 100% sure. I think that it's worth double-checking before you get in your car and driving there. Yeah. I forget the date.
And then the very last show, do you have that set? Like, do you have it booked? Tickets and everything, or
for several years we've played at the Colby Sawyer both admission and alumni day in mid-October, and that's been our final thing. But we want to rent space, probably in Andover. There's a nice barn that we can rent, the Andover barn, and have a party for people who know us and who have traveled, and who love us, and we know who they are. They know who we are, and it would be a good thing. I'd like to get my brothers and their families up and to see us one last time. It'd be a last hurrah.
Do you have a preference for the last song?
Gosh. What would it be? Knowing Keith, he's going to do something like Into the Mystic that instead of, there are tunes like, what's the other one? Footloose is a great rocking finish to an evening, but I bet he'll do Into the Mystic and we'll all be crying. Yeah.
Nick's other band will be performing at the Old Courthouse tomorrow night. And again, 863-8360 for reserve space. And I think it's great that you guys have been out and about. You said the home base basically is Andover, but you've come to Newport, go to Concord, Warner. So
a lot of Henniker. That because of the Pat's Peak experience. When you do a Henniker bandstand, I think it might be September 2. You can check that, the Angela Robinson bandstand in Henniker. That'll draw 500 or 600 people easily. That'll be our big final bandstand gig.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Anything that you want to?
No, I appreciate this opportunity. It's great to be able to put into words something that we feel really strongly about. A lot of people, 7 guys in a band having an awful lot of fun, and we'll have fun tomorrow night.
Sure. And then eventually it'll be Nick's other band.
Exactly. You got it. Yeah, that's it.
Well, Chuck, maybe it'll be Chuck's other band.
Don't count on that.
Chuck's solo gig.
Yeah, something like that.
Chuck's at home sleeping tonight.
Yeah, exactly. You can hear him.
Oh, thank you for coming in. I appreciate this. I wish you guys the best of luck tomorrow night at the Old Courthouse, and just absolutely the best as Nick's other band will be wrapping up this year.
Thanks, Steve. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
You bet. Absolutely.